Want to future-proof your career in DevOps but confused about Cloud DevOps and Enterprise DevOps? In this video, you will understand the core differences, how Azure DevOps actually works, and why mastering this skill can give you an edge in real-world projects. So stay till the end, you'll definitely see a bigger picture that most beginners miss. If you are in IT and still stuck in the same salary, not getting enough interview calls, listen carefully. Right now, there are two types of people. Those who keep waiting and those who upgrade their skills and move into high-paying roles, earning 15 to 45 plus LPA because the market has already shifted. Cloud, data, AI, DevOps. These are the roles driving real career growth today. At Coding Superstars, we have helped thousands of professionals move into top tech roles.
I got placed in IBEX Labs. Previously, my package was 8 lakhs. Now it is around 14 lakhs. Thanks for the Coding Superstar for the guidance, and the course is very worth it.
I have accepted a position as a DevOps engineer at NTI Mindtree. The skills which were taught by Coding Superstar were directly applicable to the role, and I'm confident that they will be essential for my success.
Recognized by Silicon India as one of the top 10 cloud computing training firms in India. People who once had zero coding experience are now working in top companies like Microsoft, Accenture, TCS, Infosys, and more. This is not just another course. This is your path to becoming industry ready. So watch this till the end.
So in the last class, we were discussing about DevOps. We discussed about the methodologies without DevOps and with the DevOps. Then what are the tools in DevOps, mainly Azure DevOps, or if you are working on Enterprise DevOps, what are the third-party tools which work with Enterprise DevOps. So there are two types of DevOps, like we discussed, Cloud DevOps and Enterprise DevOps. In Cloud DevOps, the services are provided by the cloud provider, like we will be performing in Azure. In Enterprise DevOps, all the tools are third party. You should, or you can download those tools, you can install those tools, you can have a full control on those tools. Okay, everything will be managed by you. In the Cloud DevOps, everything at the backend is managed by cloud provider. Apart from the settings and features, you can choose out of the provided settings and features, and you can move ahead with the Cloud DevOps. Okay, but if you face any problem, then you can reach out to support. Okay, they will help you in the Cloud DevOps. In Enterprise one, you have to troubleshoot everything by yourself. Your system, your software, everything you have to troubleshoot anyhow. Okay, so let us start. So Azure DevOps, before starting this Azure DevOps, it's a service from the Azure portal. As you can see, this is the Azure portal and this is the service in the Azure portal. If I go to all services here, I click on all services. So when I go to all services, there are different services like analytics, compute, containers. Similar way here, you can see DevOps services. So under DevOps services, you can see Azure DevOps organization. Organization means they have organized DevOps services at one place, and that place is known as Azure DevOps organization. That is one single service which is known as Azure DevOps organization. Okay, now service which can be used with Azure DevOps organization, like you can use Monitor, Application Insights, then you can use load testing, you can use GitHub, you can use app configurations. Okay, there are, I think, around 22 services which you can use here. Like you can use Dynatrace now is a third party, but you can see that wherever there is a third party, it is written as partner. Partner means they have partnered with Azure and they are providing their cloud services with Azure. Though they are third party tools, but they have created their own version of cloud and they are collaborating it with Azure. Okay, so that's why wherever you see partner, that means that is a third party provider and they are providing their services with Azure. Like this Datadog monitoring tool, Elastic Cloud, Dynatrace, okay, Prometheus. So these are some services.
This partnership is because for the compatibility reasons, more compatibility reasons with Azure.
See.
Am I correct?
See, if you are a third-party provider and Azure knows, or that third-party provider knows that people are using Azure DevOps and they need some kind of this totally depends on feedback actually. So suppose you are using Azure DevOps or you are using Datadog or Dynatrace. Now you might be using as a third party, but now you want to shift to cloud side. Now these people, what they do, they will be getting the feedbacks from the users. Okay, what needs to be improved. So user is saying, suppose, can you provide Dynatrace support with Azure? Or they can ask Datadog, can you provide support with Azure? So due to all these feedbacks, they might came into collaboration and they created some service which can be integrated with Azure DevOps, right?
Right.
Yeah. Like take example of organization. So whenever we feel something like in our organization that this is required, so there is a proper form in Azure DevOps. You can fill that form and you can provide your recommendations in that we need this. So next time when Azure will be performing some changes or applying some patches, they will make sure that how many people or how many users are there who wants this particular feature or this particular to be enhanced in Azure DevOps. So they will follow that, and once done, they will make that, like they will integrate that with the Azure DevOps. They will preview it. See, you can see a preview option here. That means it is in testing as of now. They have added this feature as a preview. Use it. If you like it, provide your feedback. If you don't like it, provide your feedback. Okay. So they will see how many number of users are using this as a preview feature. Once they get a quite good number, they will release it as a permanent feature. Okay. Instead of preview or beta feature. Got it?
Understood, sir.
Yeah. So lot of services you will be seeing in preview. So these are all the part of the feedbacks from the user. Okay. So they integrate those kind of services, and once they are, suppose like see, in IT in cloud, you might not have seen SAP. Someone has worked on SAP. What is SAP? SAP HANA and all. Okay. So now see, they have integrated SAP HANA database also with Azure. And they are integrating SAP services with DevOps now. Okay. So someone might have initiated this, that we want this, that. So what they did, they integrated SAP HANA with this Azure as an Azure service database. So these are kind of services we use here. Now, especially if we talk about now Azure DevOps services, I'll go to Azure DevOps organization here. Now, when you see this Azure DevOps organization, you need to create an account here as well with this service. Since it is a separate dashboard from the Azure portal and it has its own services. Azure DevOps organization has its own services. What kind of services? We discussed yesterday: version control system, continuous integration, continuous deployment, artifacts, testing, this portfolio management. Portfolio management means managing the tickets, requests, all those things. That comes under portfolio management. Okay. So Azure DevOps itself managing a number of services in it. So that's why they have created a separate portal for Azure DevOps. Okay. So similar to that, like here you use portal.azure.com. There is a different URL. dev.azure.com. Okay, that is for DevOps. Okay, so as soon as I click in, I go, the URL will change from here. Okay, so service is from Azure portal itself, but this service have to be used with or needs a different sign up method. Okay, so as soon as you come to this Azure DevOps or click on Azure DevOps service, either if you have an account, you can directly go to my Azure DevOps organization. If you don't have an account, you can perform get started with Azure DevOps. So when you click on get started with Azure DevOps, it will ask you to create an account in the Azure DevOps portal. So first thing you need to do is that get started. I'll open in a new window. Okay. So if you click on this get started, it will take you to open Azure DevOps. Okay. Now, since it knows that I already have an account here, so it redirected to my that account. Okay, Azure DevOps account. If I would have opened in incognito mode, then it might not open this. So I'll just copy that link and I'll open in incognito mode to show you. Now again what it says, you don't have an account, create one. Same process. Create one. It will ask you, you can provide your Gmail account. The same Gmail account you can provide whatever you are created with the portal. Okay. Perform next. It will ask you some questions. Okay. To create an Azure DevOps account, it will create an Azure DevOps account for you. Okay, I'll leave this part up to you. Okay, I'll close this. Once Azure DevOps organization is created, now you can go to my Azure DevOps organization. Here, at first, you will find a blank page here. And this create new organization will be written in between here. Okay. Since you don't have any project, it will be written over here. Second thing, when you will be trying to create an organization, try to create it with your default directory. Okay, try to create it with default directory. Where is the default directory? In the portal itself, Microsoft has given you one user ID. When you created the portal, they have provided you one user ID. Go to that Microsoft default directory, users. This is your default user ID given by Microsoft. Okay. Now, since this user belongs to Microsoft, it is a member user. Okay. So what happens? A member user is having more permissions than that user with which you created this portal account. Okay, so what I have used this member user instead of my this user which I used to create a portal account. So now this is also called as directory user. Okay, since it is in the default directory, this is my directory user. So what I did, I used my directory account to create an organization. Otherwise, I have not created in the Microsoft account. If I go to the Microsoft account here, see Microsoft account, I didn't created any organization. So Microsoft account means using which I created the portal. Directory account means which is provided to me by Azure. That is the directory account. So when you go to the directory account first time, you will get a button like this, create an organization. Click on that. It will ask you get started with Azure DevOps. Okay. Click on continue. it will ask you to create here the organization name. Give any organization name. I'll ask you to give the same name which you have for your portal. Okay, like I took it like this. Okay, choose where you want to host your project. You want to host in which region? Choose it. Whatever region you will choose it. Okay. So in these regions are available to host your Azure DevOps organization. And click on continue. Once you click on continue, it will create that organization for you. Okay. And once the organization is created, it will appear like this here. So in this organization of mine, I have these 3, you can see, projects. So as of now, my organization is Abhishek Trainings. I'll show you one more. Okay. Click on create. This is Abhishek Trainings 30 India location. Click on next. It will create another organization for me. Okay. So see, a whole new organization is created. On the left hand side, you see this is my old organization. This is my new organization. So a whole new organization is created for me. And in this organization, what I can do, I can create projects. So you can name any project, you can create any project. Okay. Like demo or anything you can create. Choose your visibility of the project, whether the visibility is private or public, and click on create project. Once you create project, it will be shown up in the organization project list. Okay. Like you see here. So what I'll do, I'll delete this organization as of now. For deleting, I'll go to organization settings in the same organization and delete the organization. So you can manage your organization, you can create, delete. Okay. Once deleted, it will show you this screen over here. Okay. Startup screen again. Now I'll again come back to my Azure DevOps organization, which I already have. Okay. So I'll be clicking on this directly. One more thing. Please do not choose Visual Studio. Okay. Don't create a Visual Studio organization. It will charge you. Okay. It will charge you. Do not create that. Create a free organization. Do not create a Visual Studio one. Okay. So wherever it is asked for paying anything or credit card has been asked, don't go for that. Okay. Directly, again, you just need to choose Azure DevOps organization here. Okay. Start with Azure DevOps, create your organization. Very simple. You have to create free organization. Okay. Do not create any Visual Studio or anything. Okay. Once the organization is created, it will ask you to create a project over there and you can directly land in your organization portal page. This is my organizational portal page here. Okay. Now suppose this is the project, I can delete any project. Okay, no issues. I can select, I can go to direct organization settings from here. I can select project and delete. I can go to projects from here. Select the project, create the project, delete the project, whatever. Okay. So now I have only one project here.
What all tool we have to install?
You don't have to install anything. This is Cloud DevOps. Okay. Everything they will provide you, every service. See, there are two things. One is cloud, one is enterprise. In enterprise, you have to install things. Suppose if I talk about version control system tool, okay, if I talk about GitHub, suppose what I explained in the last class. So in every tool also there are two things. One is cloud service, one is enterprise service. Cloud service is that service which is hosted in the cloud. Suppose I'm using this Azure DevOps project. This Azure DevOps project or organization is hosted in the Azure data center. So that's why this is a cloud service.
Okay.
What is enterprise service? So I'll take you to Azure DevOps overview. Okay. Or Azure DevOps pricing overview. Okay. Can you see two things here? One is Azure DevOps service. Service means that thing which is hosted with Azure, and Azure is providing you that service and you are using that service over the internet, which I am showing just now. What is this? This is a service from Azure. Azure DevOps, we are using it over the browser. So these are Azure DevOps service. What is Azure DevOps server? Server means you have installed a server at your location and Azure will come in and install you an Azure DevOps services server like tool at your location on your personal server. That is Azure DevOps server. So with every tool there are two things. One is service, another one is enterprise edition or server. Service means the server is hosted with the cloud. Server means the server is hosted with you. You pick up any service. Okay, you pick up GitHub. So if you use GitHub, community or enterprise server, enterprise means server is located with you. Community means you are using the service. Okay, so each and every service has these two features. Depends on your organization what they want to prefer.
Thanks, Abhishek.
Okay, you understood what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So one is hosting with cloud and using the service. Other one is hosting with yourself and using the service. Everywhere it is. Like in Azure portal also, if you create a VM here, the VM will be created with Azure. But if you want to create a VM on your own server, then there are other providers like Oracle VirtualBox. Oracle VirtualBox. What is this? A software which will create VMs for you. What you need to do? You need to just download this software and start creating virtual machines in your own system. You can create tens and hundreds of virtual machines in your own laptop using this software. Okay. So this is enterprise, means at your own place. And when you are creating a VM, you are creating in the cloud. So this is also a VM, that is also a VM. But this you are creating, hosting in Azure. This you are hosting in your own laptop or machine. Again, that is the difference. Similar difference with every service you use.
As an example of a non-enterprise can be termed as a startup company maybe. They have few VMs and they are writing their codes in that. Can we take that as an example? A small startup.
No, small startup is okay, but depends what they are using. They are using cloud service.
Yes, imagine that they are using cloud service and it's a small setup. Can they usually will those kind of people will be going
there
for
are
this?
two things in the market. Actually, one, you own it another you are leveraging from someone. Okay.
Got it.
What is, suppose there is a hotel owner. Now hotel owner is running his own hotel. That is one thing. Second thing, the person is using OYO to rent out its hotel. Got it? So taking
Understood.
OYO services. So who will do the job here? OYO will do. So you are
Correct.
taking the services from OYO.
Correct.
But-
OYO is
and-
creating the platform and providing the services.
Correct. So here the cloud is the platform and they are providing you the service. They are hosting everything at their own place. You don't have to worry about anything. Means you don't have to worry about the hardware part. Got it?
Understood.
Yeah. When you are handling the hardware part, that itself means enterprise. When you are not handling the hardware part, that means it's non-enterprise. Okay.
It's clear now with this difference. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So to avoid that headache of handling the hardware and all, they just use the services. But still big organization like my own organization, they are using servers like Azure DevOps server, GitHub server. They are not using services. Okay. Since it is a very big organization, okay, so they trust on using their own servers. Okay. So they take Azure DevOps services, but on their own server, not on Azure server. They opt for hosting the services on their own server, at their own location, at their own data center. On-premise data center, what we call it. Okay. So if that's clear to everyone now, because see, basic will not be clear, then I'll go ahead and I'll explain the services, it will be difficult. Okay. So first make yourself ready with the basic. Okay. This is the basic of, yesterday I explained everything about DevOps methodology, how it came in. Okay. What was the need of DevOps? I explained that. Okay. How it all started. What are the services in DevOps? What are the services in Enterprise DevOps? What are the services in Cloud DevOps? What is the difference? That is just I explaining today. What is the difference between an enterprise and Cloud DevOps? Okay. Now, if you talk about Cloud DevOps, this is my project here. For example, I'll tell you how you can create that project. Okay. So this is a project, suppose. Okay. And these are the services in that project. So when you talk about any project, so we were talking about everything yesterday: Agile, Sprint, Scrum call, Scrum Master. So what they do, actually they create small modules. They work on small modules to write the source code, develop it, deploy it, test it, everything. But there should be some task which should be assigned to them. Okay. So for that management, that is known as portfolio management. Okay. Portfolio means the work items actually. So one work item is created, it is been assigned to one member, suppose the developer. Another work item created, that is assigned to tester. Third work item created, it is assigned to the operation team member. Fourth work item created, it is been assigned to the support team member. So to organize this workflow, we have to create a portfolio management. Okay. Now for portfolio management, there are different tools. Suppose you have heard about Jira management tool, ticketing management tool, Jira. Okay. ServiceNow is there. Confluence is there. There are a lot of available tools in the market for portfolio management and ticket handling. Okay. But if we talk about Azure here, they have their own service known as boards. This is known as Azure boards. Okay. Here you will create work items, bugs, features, product backlog item, everything you will create over here. I'll explain this all. Okay. I'm just giving an overview as of now. Each and everything I'll explain. Okay, so as of now, it is just an overview. Okay, so work items are there, boards are there, backlogs are there, sprints are there. In the sprints, you will be having a sprint capacity, sprint planning, everything. Whatever I was explaining yesterday, team availability, team capacity, sprint planning, all those things here. Okay, so first thing is boards to manage the work items and tasks. Then later on you will assign those work items. So people will be working on those work items maybe in their local Git, and then they will push that code into where? Into the repository. So since we are working with Azure, they will be pushing into Azure repository. So this repos is Azure repository. This boards is Azure portfolio management tool. Okay, this is Azure repos. So they will push in code over here. They will work with the code, create the branches, create the different repositories over here. Okay, in the project, it will show what they have committed, what they have pushed to this. Okay, what branches have been created. Okay, if they have applied any tag to any branch, how many pull requests are created to merge the code into the main branch. Okay, security features of the repos. Okay, what security features are there in the repos, okay, to protect your code. Then comes the pipelines. This is the CI tool. Okay, so how many types of pipelines we can create, like for example build pipeline, release pipeline. Then how many categories or styles of pipeline we can create. Suppose classic editor pipeline, another one is YAML pipeline. These are two categories in which we can create pipelines. Okay, then here are environment. You can create environment variables. I was just explaining in the last class only, okay, before this batch. Okay, so environment variables, then releases, release pipeline, then variable groups. What are variable groups? What is a library? What are variable groups? All these under pipelines. Since these all things will be related to pipelines only, these will be configured with the pipelines. That's why these are the features in the pipeline. Task group, how to create a task group. Deployment group, how to create a deployment group. Okay, then comes the test plan. So I don't have any experience on testing mostly, so this part I'll leave. This part will not come to DevOps also. Okay, this is a purely part with the testing team only. Okay, if anyone as of now in this batch is working on the test plans, please let me know. I'll arrange some class where you can give some overview on this test plan. Okay, so I'll not touch this part. Okay, neither you will get this part as a DevOps engineer. Okay, this is a part for the testing team itself. So running the test plans, progress reports, runs, everything. Okay, so I'll leave this test plan. Artifacts, this is our part. Okay, so I'll explain you artifacts, like how an artifacts can be used from here. So generally in the artifact section, we keep those artifacts which are required to build the code. Dependencies basically. So instead of downloading the dependencies from the internet, open internet, you can create your own dependencies and packages, and you can keep it with artifacts. And later on, your developers can use those dependencies from this artifact section. So this is artifact. Okay. So these are the services. Apart from that, other services like hosting services. Hosting means where you will host this code. So hosting services are with the portal. You can host the code in virtual machines. You can host the service in containers, container instance, container apps. You can host the services in Kubernetes service. So the hosting services are with Azure portal, and the build and deployment services are with Azure DevOps. Combining both of them, Okay, you can start developing your project, test it, build it, deploy it into the Azure portal, and monitor it from the portal itself, because monitoring services are also in the portal. So we need to collaborate between the two, these services, Azure DevOps services and portal services. And that will make a complete DevOps environment for us. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now starting with the project itself. Okay. First, I'll explain you the pricing part. Okay. Or let me explain you first the services, then the pricing part. Okay. So now I'll go back to again my organization. This is my organization. In this organization, very first thing, I'll tell you about organization settings. Okay, organization settings. So I'll go to organization settings. In the organization settings, first thing you can see the overview here. Now in the overview, this is my organization. This is my organization URL. Okay. You can have your private URL as well. Suppose I am working in xyz.com, XYZ company. So that URL can take my domain name, my company's domain name. So for example, here it is like dev.azure.com. So you can integrate your company's organization URL also with this, and you can frame your privacy URL over here. Okay. So that you will come to see in your organization. As of now, we don't have any organization, so I cannot show you that. But if your company is working on Azure DevOps, just check their URL. Okay, you will come to know what is a privacy URL. Any description you want to write about organization? What is the time zone you will be following for your organization? Okay. Geographical location, we have already selected while creating the organization. Region, where it is hosted. Organization usage limit. Now this is the first part in your organization settings. Usage limit is you can create up to 1000 projects in one organization. You can create up to 1000. Now, I don't know, people sometimes ask this question, okay, in interview as well. How many projects you can create in one organization? Okay. Now this was asked to me, so I'm just conveying it to you that this can be asked. Okay. So 1000 projects can be created. See, you can answer everything in the interviews. What you need to do is that whatever you are working in, you have to drill down everything. If you drill down everything, you will get each and every answer what can be asked, like to the question what can be asked in the interviews. Okay. So this was asked. This is a very easy, looks like very easy question, but I bet 60-70% will not be able to answer. Why? Because they have not seen organization settings. They are just working on the Azure DevOps. They never seen organization settings. Why? Because mostly it is handled by the admin. So that's why they have not seen organization settings. So believe me, just go through everything. You will get all the answers of your question in this portal only. Okay. So how many projects can be created? 1000. If you want, you can pin this, you can write this anywhere. You can start making your own note, okay, where you can write all these. What I'll tell you that this can be asked, that can be asked, okay. Note it down. Otherwise, what will happen when we'll complete the project, you will ask me that please provide some questions, okay. At that time, what you will do, you will mug up the questions. I don't want that you should mug up the questions, okay. Don't do that. Never do it, okay. Just read out everything. You will get all your answers. Okay. So how many projects can be created? 1000. Work item tags. How many tags can be created for work items? This is the number. Unit, tens, 100, 1000, 10,000, lakhs. Okay. 150,000. That is the number. Okay. Is the organization? You have an option to change the owner of the organization. Okay. This is also a question. Can you change the owner of the organization? Yes. Is also a question. Okay. Then recently deleted projects and the organization. This is the organization. Come to projects. Here you can create projects. You can select and delete projects. Okay. What it will show you? It will show you some details of the project. Name of the project, description of the project, process which project follows. I'll explain you what processes are. Okay, don't worry about what is process. Visibility of the project. What is the visibility actually? So visibility means who can access the project, whether it's a private project or a public project. Now suppose I'll give you the link of this project. Since it is a private project, you will not be able to access it. You will not be able to access it since this is a private project. Similar way, if I go to this, this is where the lab starts. Okay. So I'll take you to one project. Okay. Now, since that is a public project, you will be able to, everyone will be able to access that project. Okay. So where is the link? Is the link. This is the link. Okay. I'll copy this link, and this project is with the GitHub. Okay. This project is with the GitHub. I'll paste this link. See. So this is under Microsoft repository. Okay. And this is an e-commerce project. Now it's not like that they have created this project and they just put it in their repository and you are using it. No. If you can see, they are continuously working in this project. Like to improve this project, they are continuously merging something into the source code. So if you see source code, see all other files are just for the Azure DevOps. What is the main project? Main project where, see, wherever you see the code and wherever you see this SRC. SRC means source. Source means source code, which is purely written by developers. Okay. So the main folder is the source code. So you can see that every 1 month or 2 months, they are continuously improving the source code. Means Microsoft team is continuously working on this project. It is not like it is a kind of a dead project and it is not a live project. Okay. So they are continuously working on this project continuously. You just pull it. Every time you may see new features in this project since they are continuously modifying this project. Their development team is continuously modifying this. Just like your development team in your organization. Okay. So wherever you will be working, there will be a development team. They will be continuously improvising the things in the code. Similar way, Microsoft is doing that. Okay. I'm not saying this is the only project. There are ample amount of projects in the GitHub. Okay. Ample amount of projects in the GitHub. Simply if you search the GitHub and go to the GitHub. Okay. For example, go to Java, search, for example, I suppose search for Java project in the GitHub. So I just put it like Java web applications. Simple. Okay. In the GitHub. Whatever the public projects will be there in the GitHub, all will line up here. Java public projects. Okay. You can search for .NET public projects. You can search for Node public projects. There are ample amount of projects which are being worked upon by the developers around the world. Okay. Just for their own, building up their own GitHub, you can say environment and all. Okay. Now, why they do this? Why they are putting these public projects? What is the need? So whenever as a developer you are giving the interview, and if you are giving an interview in the good organization, they will always ask you for your GitHub URL. I don't know how many of you heard that. But whenever you give, I myself have given an interview in one of the organizations. They are asking for a DevOps developer. DevOps developer means you have done the developer work as well. You have worked in the DevOps as well. So they asked me for my GitHub link. And when they saw my GitHub link, they said that you have not collaborated anything in your GitHub. Means you are not practicing anything, you are not doing anything. They simply reject it. Okay. So this is like 4-5 years back, 6 years back. Okay. So after that only I started building my GitHub account. Okay. So developer, if you see any developer, front end, back end, okay, who are willing to serve in good organizations, who are willing to get good job, good package and all, always you will find that they have some GitHub account, okay, and they have the projects. So that's why you can see all these public projects in the GitHub. This belongs to those developers only who are willing to learn things, okay, and they are continuously developing these repositories. So suppose this is what e-commerce project, which is based on Spring Boot, Java Spring Boot. Okay, this is a flight someone has created or made the flight booking system. Okay, someone has created some kind of album, someone has created some kind of online exam, someone has created some kind of business management project, online bookstore. So who are these? These are developers who are learning. Okay, so I don't say that just follow this project. No, once you learn, see, first thing is that you should learn. Okay, you should learn the tools, you should learn the services. So for learning, you will be requiring one project. Okay, suppose this is that project. So we will be learning with this project, and then you can apply the same things what we have done with this project. You can apply the same things in number of projects for practicing purpose. Okay, so when you will be, what you need to do, just pull in this code in your own GitHub account and work on it. That's it, nothing else. With the same steps what we will following here in Azure DevOps. Okay, so you can work with, now this project is on .NET. This is .NET based. Okay, there can be, and there is one more thing. DevOps engineer is not limited to one technology. Okay, it's not like that you have developed or deployed a project for .NET, then you will not be able to say that I cannot deploy a Java project or I cannot deploy a Node. As a DevOps engineer, you should be knowing everything. And how you will learn that I'll explain you later. Okay, no one is perfect. Okay, even when I started with deploying the projects, I started with .NET. Okay, later on I deployed Java projects as well. I deployed Node as well. Okay, but how? With the help of a developer. I deployed it with the help of a developer. I asked them the steps, what steps I can follow in the pipeline to deploy a Node application or to deploy a Java application. So they explained me those steps, and according to that, I created the steps in the pipeline. So you can learn like that. Okay, so you cannot say if someone asks that, hey, I need to deploy a Node project or a Java project, you cannot say no. Okay, you have to learn that as a DevOps engineer. So these are Java based projects. Okay, if you go them, if you click on them, they will take you to the repository and you can clone the repository from there. Not only these projects, some popular projects also I can show you. Okay, some popular projects, like for example, there is one person who created a whole Netflix clone project, means clone of that Netflix application. Okay, See, and there is one more thing. When you will be trying other projects, what people do, they give the steps how you can build this project. Okay, so in the readme file they will give all the steps, so you don't have to think about like what steps I'll perform to build this project. No, whosoever has created the repository, they will give you these steps how you can build this project. You just have to follow those steps. That's it, nothing else. Okay, just have to follow those steps. That's it.
Abhishek, what will be the charges if we?
This is free. These are free.
Okay.
They're free public projects. Why charges? No. See, I am able to access. That means this is a public project, and public project is free. Okay. You don't have to worry. Just pull this project. Okay. How to pull? From the code, copy the link, go to your GitHub, create a new repository, and pull this project. That's very simple.
Abhishek,
Or
can't we
if you
use-
want to develop it in the local, download the zip file of that. Simple. Go ahead.
Abhishek, can't we use this same link directly wherever like in Jenkins want to have the repo, the Git repo link?
This link.
Yeah. This
Yes,
link,
yes,
since
you
it's a
can.
public,
Yes, you can use. No issues.
but I try to use it. It is not validating all the public repository. Might be I was missing something, or like I was just
See,
thought of should have a permission.
This link you directly used.
No, I copied code and here.
Okay. So where you are downloading, in the local?
No, directly I'm integrating with the Jenkins.
Okay.
Not this link, like in the code and where I'm copying your.
So do that server, that Jenkins server has GitHub installed in it.
Yeah, it is integrated, installed, everything.
Okay.
All the plugins are installed, but I try to integrate. So this now
What
public repository.
what error you are seeing over there?
Saying that it's not.
It is not.
I'm not sure the error, but it's not.
Just do one thing. Screenshot me that error in the WhatsApp. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I'll tell you what is the issue.
Okay.
So this person has created a whole Netflix clone app. Okay. And he has write down all these steps for that. You just need to go and practice it. Even the pipeline code he has written. Okay. Pipeline code also he has written. So just need to follow and try to deploy this in your local laptop or environment. So he has used Kubernetes to deploy this. Okay. Like this. So suppose he has used AWS cloud. You can use Azure cloud. So by doing the classes will not give you any leverage. Okay. You need to practice afterwards. How, like, whatever you will practice, you will gain something out of that. Okay. So this is GitHub. It is an open environment. Okay. There are a lot of public projects in all the technologies. You can just search for the project, use it to deploy it yourself in your local environment. Okay. Even if you don't want to spend money on cloud, you can download the virtual environments like Oracle Box, VirtualBox, and create virtual machines on your local, and there you can deploy. So that is also free. Okay. Oracle VirtualBox. But best to practice in the cloud environment, because wherever you will be giving the interviews, you should be knowing any one of the clouds. Okay. So better to practice in the cloud environments. So I'll close this as of now. We were into the settings part. Okay. So these are the projects. Now comes the users. Now who will be using the project? Users, definitely. So from where the users will be coming? Now, since Azure DevOps organization is the service of Azure, so whatever the users will be in the Entra ID, the same users can be onboarded here in the Azure DevOps organization. So generally in organization, we don't provide or we don't add the users directly to the organization. Instead, we add the users to the project. Okay. So you will see in your organization that you are only able to access a specific project in the organization. Since you are a part of that project, you will only be able to access that particular project instead of all the projects in your organization. So instead of adding it to the organization settings, we will add the user to the specific project in the project settings. This is organization settings. Okay. So from where you can add? From here. So if you click on add, all the people who are in the Entra ID, who are added as users on the Entra ID, they will appear and you can add them here. You can also create groups. So add a group of people and add a rule to that group. Okay, that people in this group can perform these specific set of permissions, or they have to follow these rules. Okay. Then comes billing part. This is a very important part. As of now, since you will be practicing Azure DevOps, always use free. Okay. Whatever the things are in the free trial, you have to use that. Don't use anything apart from that. Okay. Don't set up your billing. Don't click on this button. Never set up your billing as of now. Okay. So otherwise, you might end up by choosing any random thing and you'll start. Because in my batches only, I have seen many people who started their billing for Azure DevOps. And then every day they have been charged with 100 rupees. Okay. So don't ever touch this billing part. Okay. These are the pipelines. In the billing part, everything is explained about pipelines part, about repos part, about boards part, everything is explained. So very first thing is, if you are using boards, Azure boards, repos, and test plans, so there are two types of licenses. First user license is basic user. Basic means this is my basic. This Azure DevOps organization is my basic environment. And I can add up to 5 users in my environment. Up to 5 users, they can use this Azure DevOps organization. If I will go beyond 5 users, then I will be charged. How much I will be charged? That I'll show you in Azure DevOps services here. So this says in the basic plan, first 5 users are free. Then from the 6th user, you will be charged $6 per user per month. In the basic plan, 5 users are free. There is another licensing plan which is known as basic plus test plan. That plan says that you will be given a 30 days free trial. Once your trial is over, you will be charged $52 per user per month. This pricing can be different in Indian rupees. Okay. So don't compare. Maybe 10-20 rupees less. That's it. Nothing else. Okay. So $52 per user per month. And these all the features which will be included with this plan. And these are the features which will be included in this plan. So if you see this license, which is charging $52, it says includes all basic plan features. That means whatever you see in this free plan, that is the first point of this paid plan. And rest all are add-ons here. Okay, that's why it is charging you that much. Okay. Now what basic plan says? So basic plan means what we will be using for practicing. That is the basic plan. So basic plan says you can use Azure pipelines. Now I can use Azure pipelines, but for what extent I can use Azure pipelines? So that is explained under Azure pipelines here. So what it says, again, you can mark this down. This is again a question here. I'm again saying, don't ask me questions at the last. I don't have any questions. I didn't documented any questions. Okay. What I'll say that this can be asked as a question. That means that can be asked as a question. Okay. So what it says, one Microsoft hosted job. Job means which is run by a pipeline. One pipeline run, that is known as a job. So one Microsoft hosted job, Microsoft hosted means that job is running on a Microsoft agent machine. One Microsoft hosted job with 1800 minutes per month for CI/CD is free. It is free. So one Microsoft hosted job for 1800 minutes is free. And one self-hosted job is free for unlimited. Now, why this Microsoft job is limited to 1800 minutes per month and why self-hosted job is unlimited? Because self-hosted job I will be running on my machine. Self-hosted means self-hosted agent. I have hosted my own agent. So that's why Microsoft does not care about that. Okay. Why? Because they are not hosting in their data center. You are hosting in your server. So that's why unlimited. But Microsoft hosted is the agent is hosted on Microsoft side and they are running that agent on their own expense. So that's why the minutes are limited to 1800 per month for Microsoft hosted. So what organizations do? Organizations mostly run their pipelines on self-hosted. Okay. You will come to know that when you will be working on any DevOps project or something. Okay? So self-hosted.
Abhishek, one doubt is there. So 1800 minutes per month. Okay.
Per
so
month.
This is for a single job, right? If suppose I
Single
have
job.
5-6.
If you choose a parallel job, parallel means one developer has pushed something and it has occupied the pipeline. It has occupied that job. And suppose there are 10 developers. So those 9 developers have to wait until and unless that pipeline is completed. If you are opting for one pipeline, one free pipeline. But if you see, suppose big organization, what they will do, they will say why to wait for that pipeline to complete. Okay. Otherwise, what will happen? The developers will sit idle until that particular time when they will be pushing the code and the queue will be completed for first developer. Then the queue will be starting for the second developer, third, fourth, one by one. But if you have to run all the jobs parallelly, then you have to opt for a parallel job. And first job is free. From the second job, it is chargeable. What charge is applied? So this is again a question. Okay. $40 per extra Microsoft parallel job. So if you are opting for a Microsoft parallel job, Microsoft hosted, that charges $40 per job per month. Okay. And if you are opting for a parallel self-hosted job, that is $15 per job per month. So this can again be asked as a question. Okay. What is the charges of an extra parallel job?
Okay. And if suppose there are 2-3 jobs are there and one has run for 60 minutes, second for 30 minutes. So Means in that case we can't say, like the summation will be 1800 minutes, then it will be free.
For
Or
the
only for
same
the
job, the
same job.
summation will be 1800 minutes, should be 1800 minutes per month.
Okay, Abhishek.
Okay. Second comes Azure boards. So in the Azure boards, what will be covered? The work item tracking, okay, issue tracking, everything will come with the boards here. So again, for boards, same thing is followed. What is written here? For first 5 users, it is free. From the 6th user, it will be charged $6 per month. So this is a separate charge from this pipeline charge. Okay. Then comes repos. So repos, you have unlimited access. Okay. Unlimited private GitHub repos you can create. That is not chargeable. Then comes the artifacts. So up to 2 GB free per organization. So per organization, you can store up to 2 GB of artifacts as a free. So after 2 GB, it is charged like this. 0 to 2 GB free, 2 to 10 GB, $2 per GB, 10 to 100 GB, $1 per GB, 100 to 1000 GB, $0.5 per GB, and after 1000 GB, it will be charged 0.25 per GB. So this is for artifacts. And some limit has been given for all these services. If you are well using within that limit, you will be getting all this for free. But if you know the limits will be exceeding, then this plan is good. Basic plus test plan. There is one more add-on now, which was not earlier. That add-on is Azure DevOps Organization Security. So if you want to activate security, whether for a basic plan, whether for a basic plus test plan, any of the plan, you are enabling the security, that will be $49 per committer per month. That means if there are 10 developers, then straightway $490 per month. That will be the cost. Okay, if you have 10 developers, 10 committers. Okay, so there is an option to activate. Okay, if you do not activate, then, and what they will give you with this activation, they will give you full suite of security tools native to Azure DevOps. Means whatever security tools Azure DevOps uses, they will give you access to all those security tools in this $49. Secret scanning, code scanning. They will also scan the vulnerabilities in the code. You don't have to spend on another code checking tool. Okay. And dependency, if there is any kind of dependency, so they will check for the dependency as well, whether that dependency should be restored with the code or not. Okay. So they will check for the dependency also. So these all they will provide here. So this is Azure DevOps pricing. Pricing for Azure DevOps server is based on licensing. You have to purchase that license. Okay. So when did you get this license? So either you can pay month to month expense for Azure DevOps server, or if you want some kind of discount or something, then you have to give a commitment, a 3-year commitment. Then they will provide you some discounts. So this they do not display here. Okay. This they do not, just like Visual Studio subscription or this. Okay. Don't purchase, don't go for these things. Okay. I know 1 or 2 people from other last batches, they have selected this and then they have been charged with $45. Okay. Don't buy any Visual Studio subscription. No, please. Okay. So this is pricing overview here. Okay. So this is billing part. Okay. Then comes the notifications. So you can set up the notifications for the things. For example, whatever the build you are doing, you can set, if the build completes, the notification will be sent out. I'll go here. You can see that there is a notification. Okay. I created a new Azure DevOps organization, so there is a notification for that. Okay. Similar way, if I perform any build, if I go to last, these are builds I perform. See, that is from the GitHub. Okay. From Azure DevOps, there might be builds I performed in the last classes on. Okay. So you will get a notification if you have set the notifications here. So if the build is completed for any project, then it will send you a notification. That is one. Okay. These are the default one, which are already there. Okay. You can set up your own notifications also. Okay. Code, pull request reviewer added or removed. If you add any reviewer into the pull request, then notification will be sent. Pull request completion failure. If the pull request completion failed, then you get a mail. Pull request change, any kind of changes done in the pull request, then if there is any comment left out by the reviewer in the pull request, then you will get. Okay. Run stage waiting for approval. So if pipeline is waiting for any kind of approval from any approver, that approver will get the notification over the email, and he can use the link to come into the Azure DevOps organization and approve the deployment. Okay. Pipeline. Manual validation pending. In the release, for the release. So whatever you are seeing, these are all default notifications. If you want to create your own, then you can go to subscriber here or new subscription, and you can create a new notification. Now you might be knowing, as of now, I'm not able to create this. Okay. So whatever is there in the default, I have to use that. Okay.
Hello, Abhishek. For practice purpose, which subscription we will use for DevOps? I mean to say,
subscription means they want you to subscribe for any new notification. Subscription means don't think about this subscription. Hotel,
Okay.
no. Subscription means subscribe for a notification. That's what a subscription means.
Okay.
Okay.
And what about the DevOps plan you just shown us?
This one?
Yes.
So basic.
Okay.
Only basic. No basic plus test plan. Only start free. It is written start free. And as free, you will get these services.
Okay.
Even do not choose that ones. Okay. Which I told you. Because some people have selected these ones. Visual Studio subscription. And then they end up paying $45 for that.
Okay.
Don't do that. So these are the notifications. You can subscribe for the notifications. As of now, we are into the basic plan. We will not get that. Okay. Usage. So which user has done what here? You can get a list of if you have mistakenly deleted anything or run any pipeline, deployed anything by mistake, redeployed into the production, run any pipeline by mistake, every log will be in the usage. Okay. So please do not perform any mistake anytime in your organization, because ultimately this page will be seen by the admin only, not by you. Okay. So do not perform any kind of mistakes. There will be security and safety also, that using some specific tags and using some specific passwords. Pipelines will be having the passwords in the organization. Okay, without putting in that password, you will not be able to run the pipeline. So there will be security, but even by mistake, do not perform anything like that. Okay, until and unless there is a need. Then this is extension. So actually, like there is a marketplace in Azure where you can choose virtual machine images and different things you can choose from the marketplace. Okay, you create anything, you choose it from the marketplace. Okay, suppose you are creating anything here. Okay, you go to the resource group, click on create. It will take you to the marketplace. From the marketplace, you will be choosing everything. Now, whether that is native to Azure or a service provided by any other provider. Okay. So if it is Azure, it will be provided free. If it is any other provider, they will charge. Simple. From the marketplace. Similar way, DevOps organization is also have a marketplace. For example, you want to perform a load testing with Azure DevOps. So you have to download the extension for load testing. Suppose you have to schedule a job to start and stop your VM. For performing the optimization. Okay. Suppose developers are coming in 9 a.m. in the morning and they are leaving the office 9 p.m. in the evening. So from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. developer machine is working. After that, there is no use of developer machine. You can schedule a start stop job for that machine using this extension. And you can add number of machines which can be used for start and stop purposes. What will happen? For example, a machine charges 14,000 rupees per month, a developer machine. Then if you stop the machine after 9 p.m. and start it again at 9 a.m. in the morning, straight away you are saving the charge for the VM for 12 straight hours. That means you are saving half of the cost per month. That means your machine will only cost 7,000 instead of 14,000. Okay. So is a kind of an extension you can use for that kind of performing that kind of job. Manned Bolt is for pipeline security. Okay, it's a security service from Manned Bolt. So this is also external service. Okay. Sonar Cube is for checking the code, vulnerabilities in the code, bugs in the code. Okay. Sonar Cube. Where I get installed all these? From this marketplace. There is at the top you can see there is a kind of a basket or suitcase. Okay, click on that, browse marketplace, and you have everything from the marketplace here. Okay, you can install any kind of extension for testing, for any kind of purpose. You can search for marketplace. Okay, this is a marketplace. So some products in the marketplace are totally free. Some products in the marketplace are on a trial base. So you can try it for free for 7 days and then you have to purchase. Okay, this is the one. So we'll go back again. This is the marketplace. Entra ID. You can connect to your Microsoft Entra ID. You can connect to your directory. Since I created my DevOps organization with the directory user, I'm directly connected to the default directory. If you will not create with the directory user, you have to manually connect it and you will be facing permission issues. Okay, that's why I recommend to create Azure DevOps organization using default directory. Okay. Then comes security. We'll discuss this in the next class. It's already 10:30. Okay. Many of you have to start office and all.